like, just don't, you know. So that's it. That's your cold open. That's all you're gonna get. You thought there was gonna be a rant, but that was it.
Well, we could go back to ranting about store prices, but
We are talking about whatever we want today. So
Yeah.
because we're tired,
as opposed to every other day.
Really fucking tired. Oh my
tired.
god.
Yeah.
That was quite a marathon of doing Codex Alera day in, day out. Well, week in, week out.
Is that
Yeah.
what we were doing?
And
I
it was-
wasn't paying attention.
I
It
enjoyed
was
it.
fun. And
Did
it
you
was
like it
worth
despite yourself, EG?
He has a new
Yeah, I
favorite
enjoyed it.
character.
Yeah. Listen, as long as you give me somebody I can latch onto, I'm good usually.
Like a nursing mother? Like that's what latching means, you know.
Okay.
Literally
This is 2023. I'll use whatever terminology I want,
Okay.
and you will have to deal with it.
Hold on. What's our threshold? Is it a minute?
Sure.
I thought it was 30 seconds.
I've
Whatever.
got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? Sorry, that's where I was at. I was pretty
Oh,
sure nipples
come
was
on,
going to be
man.
on the banned
Come
list.
on.
so-
I don't know. We've said that word before, and I don't think it did anything wrong to it. I don't know. I
As
should go back
far
and
as
check.
I'm aware, at least 4 of us have nipples. I don't know what they do over in Sweden, but
Wait, I was like, how do you know that 4 of us have nipples? Like, have you seen them? Like,
It's possible.
it's a
It's possible
to
that
take
I
on
only have
faith.
one nipple and I
do you
lost
really want
one.
the answer to that question, Justin?
now even more so than I did before. Actually,
Now he has to go
Like-
touch up all his cybersecurity and make sure that you're not
Right.
sneaking in.
yeah,
Like I
that
can't be
reminds me
bothered.
of a story. But anyway,
Well,
Well-
today is story day. Today is just ramble day.
so when the internet was new, okay, and I'm anybody who's like younger than 25 should put down your cell phone and listen. Okay,
Director.
back when the internet was new,
Hey.
you didn't use your fucking name on the internet. Okay, there was no Facebook, there was no MySpace. We're not friends with each other. We're fucking strangers. Okay, so anyway, so I
Maybe
played this
you
game
are.
where yeah, I played this game where with my social media accounts, which they didn't call it back then. That's how old I am. I would put a puzzle piece in each of my profiles, and they're not linked because that's also not a thing that you would do. And so one of them, for if you're feeling particularly old or if you want to go into like techno archaeology, that's the word I'm looking for. There was one I was a member of called Bolt, which was like Facebook before Facebook / Reddit kind of. And so like I was a member of some club there, and I don't even remember what we did, but I talked to a bunch of people on a nearly daily basis. And so like I put a profile in there, and then MySpace came out and I put a profile in there and a couple other places I don't remember, maybe GeoCities or whatever. But I actually had one of the gals that I was a friend of be like, hey, is this your profile? Is this your profile? Is this your profile? And she was able to tie them together with the information I put out there. I'm like, I'm done playing this game. That's dumb. like they were all different usernames, and yeah, woo.
On a
Thank
note
you, Taylor.
topic,
So
We're not even doing anything spectacular with books. We're just rambling, and like we really sound like adults today.
Every
And
day
Andres.
closer.
That's because
Andreas
we're
will get
old,
here in 20
so-
years.
and I will finally
with-
see the glory that is the United States of America.
hopefully you're here soon,
Assuming
because
it has not fallen by then.
Yeah,
The
right.
glory. The
The,
first
the
place you're going
jury's,
to go
the
to.
jury's still out on that one.
Well,
The
I
first
think-
place you go to from the airport is a
Say-
fucking Costco parking lot. That's
That's
the
what I was
problem.
gonna say. You say
yeah.
United States, but you mean Costco pizza.
Yeah, just get it right.
I gotta
Right.
try the
You know-
good stuff too. Like I gotta get ET to take me to the best place in Jersey. You know,
The
Yeah,
best,
do we
best
get
place
him
in
a-
Jersey is the bridge out. Zing!
That was
is correct.
fantastic. Well delivered, everything.
Which is rare for,
Well,
Right.
that's- you know what? I'll say, yeah, that's rare. But you'll have to win so many times.
a
That's
rare
one of the
pen
fun-
W, but it does happen.
Yeah, there's not usually a W in my name.
Not even in Tom Bombadil.
So we'll get him a 24-hour layover in EG's neck of the woods, and you can get him some real New York style pizza, which what they
Can't we
call it
just-
in New York is
Real New York
pizza.
style pizza sounds like a nickname for like a severe beating. Doesn't it?
I was-
okay.
just thinking,
everything you can get in New York is also a euphemism for being shot, stabbed, or otherwise beaten with some sort of object.
I
am
suppose,
walking here.
but
That's what I
but
know
I
about
feel
New York.
like with the right delivery, it could also be like a double entendre. Like if some woman walks up to you on the street and she wants to give you a New York style pizza.
Oh yeah, no,
then-
at 2 a.m. if you're looking for a good bacon, egg, and cheese, that could mean one of
many things.
several things. Yeah, up to and including the actual bacon, egg, and cheese.
Right.
Which is what you
Like-
truly want.
It is
It
most
just-
of the time. You get that
I-
in an Arizona can of iced tea that used to be the best $5 you would ever spend on 2 a.m. after being drunk.
How much is
Nice.
it now?
No, it's
With
about,
the-
depending on the bodega you go to, you could still get it. Like there's one around the corner for me. I could still get like 3 eggs and bacon for $5 on a bagel.
Nice.
And that's in Brooklyn. That's not even in the city where they don't even use real eggs.
They don't. You want to use if not real eggs?
Powdered eggs.
Exactly.
Just that
What's
slurry. That
What's
just looks
powdered eggs? Is that
it's
a thing?
powder. You add
know,
liquid to it, and then when you cook it up, it's kind of egg-like,
You
and
know
it's
how-
easy to use in various restaurants like that because they don't have to deal with the eggs and the cracking and the yolk and
Well, yeah, it's
whatever.
like in the container. Like sometimes you'll see it with the vegan one, but they had it before it became a vegan thing where it was just like a milk container but with egg in it already pre-mixed.
You know how when you go to a buffet and there's a tray full of eggs on a steam plate or whatever?
Mhm.
Those are always powdered eggs.
Yeah, those kind of eggs because they're quick,
Yeah.
they're easy, and they can rotate out in like 5 minutes
Yeah,
Never-
and they always
never-
have the same consistency and texture, so like that's really
and
the
taste
giveaway.
no matter where you went in the world.
I
They taste
have,
the same in Ireland as they did anywhere I've been in the States.
have never had powdered eggs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you have. You just don't know.
Okay, so someone needs to take him to a Golden Corral.
Actually, I was going to say, have we established? Have you ever
America.
actually left the borders of your country?
He's
I
been
left
to
the
Germany,
border.
hasn't he?
You know, if he
I-
had never left the borders of the
I
country, he
have
probably
been-
left the borders of his room. Like, there's
I
no
have.
way. There's no way.
But I have been,
Like-
to Germany, yes, and I have been to Spain.
Okay,
and the
Spain,
Czech
Spain's
Republic.
good. I also wanted to remind people that he's basically bordered by 3 sides by water, so that he only has one option. And that's a lot. Saying
Swim.
from the United States where we have 2 options. So we've
Well,
only
depending on where you are, you might not want to go to the borders of your state.
got right. Like
I've
we're
been to
still
Sweden
bordered
also,
by
but that's
3 sides
almost
by
just kind of
water,
like,
but-
You live in
visiting your
Sweden.
cousin.
Stop pretending.
I live in Denmark, the best Nordic country.
Yeah. Exporting zygotes and powdered eggs since
Zygotes?
1993.
We export
Oh,
medicine and chicken and beef.
And
You know,
chicken. See? Chicken.
pig. Fuck.
Pig. Right.
yeah,
Wait a
pig
second.
fuck is what we're worried about.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
It's not Holland.
Well, listen, pigs are multi-purpose. So
yeah.
Mm.
Well, I don't think that it's a coincidence that the country's number 1 export is medical stuff and that's number 2 export is pigs, because
yeah, like
pigs are pretty handy for that. So
yeah, pig hearts are compatible with
other-
humans, and bacon requires you to have medical episodes. So
Right.
it's a win-win.
well, that too.
so
There
so
are
they
multiple
sell the poison and they
cycles.
sell the cure.
First of all, bacon is not a poison. Bacon is what would pretty much cure everything.
Bacon is a reason for living. So
Have any of you ever
Why
had
do
or
you
made carbonara, which is literally just bacon pasta? It's the most indulgent thing.
I mean, yes.
I objection. You should not use bacon for carbonara.
Oh, shut up.
Oh wait,
What
let
is-
me guess.
oh.
You should use
As-
ham
as
It's
the guy
like-
who's closest to Italy, I'm willing to hear him out.
or Canadian
So-
bacon.
Guanciale.
Yeah, guanciale.
Yeah,
that's right.
guanciale. It's so close to bacon. It's like it. I can't find guanciale in a store. I can find bacon, and it's
I was gonna say I
basically
can
the
find
same thing.
guanciale in a store easily.
What's,
Yeah, and it-
what's the sauce like that you put with it, or do you?
oh, so it's eggs with
Lots of
and no, it's
cheese.
not cream. It's eggs and Parmesan, or no,
Okay.
no Pecorino Romano.
Pecorino and
Yeah, Pecorino
Parmesan.
Romano. I don't do Parmesan. It's Pecorino Romano. I just said the wrong name, and then it's eggs, and then you whip that into a slurry, and you add it in with the noodles as it's kind of like in the fat of the bacon. And as you mix it, if you mix it right, it won't curdle, and you get a creamy consistency out of it without
It's
adding cream.
the- It's the pasta water that does it.
Yeah,
Pasta
yeah. It's
water.
the noodles, and you can add a little bit more pasta water to it or something. And it's like it's so simple. It actually takes a lot of skill to do correctly because it's so easy to fuck up.
a lot of pepper.
That and a whole
So
bunch
I'm
of black
out,
pepper
but-
in it.
Yeah, I'm not
You're,
generally a pasta
you're
guy,
out just
but I
on the
am
budget of this
interested,
meal. This
so-
would kill your monthly budget in one meal,
Okay. Well, if there's that.
especially if you're going for guanciale. Although
Which
depending on
wouldn't
where
be a
you get
problem
it,
as long as
it's
it's
not
the only
that
thing you
expensive.
eat in a month. It's,
Yeah,
it's
you don't
really-
eat breakfast already, so you're good there.
Right.
It is very delicious, and yeah, the people who use cream are heathens.
Yeah.
Which is what 95% people do here. They use
Well,
cream
because
in
it's
carbonara,
easier.
and it's wrong.
You have to do.
Wait,
less
hold
work
on.
if
You're
you
going
add
to
the
tell me
cream.
that your country is wrong about food? Somebody
Yeah.
stop the presses.
Italian food, no less. They take shortcuts. My God.
Cream is bad in carbonara. Don't do it.
Actually, I just had a very nice risotto the other day when I went out to an Italian place because it had filet mignon chicken and what else in it? What was the third meat?
There's 3 meats. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound very Italian.
Sure, it does.
Usually Italian's like simple. And, like the only thing I think of with multiple meats is like a bolognese, like on the top of my head, where you use like pig and cow. But other than
Oh.
that, it's usually like simplicity.
Just,
when you get to live in a rich country that actually doesn't care about your health, you can have multiple things in your food.
Oh, yeah, and have you been to the Heart Attack Grill?
No, I have
No,
not
but
been
it's
to the
on
Heart
the
Attack
list.
Grill.
That's a thing.
There it is.
Heart attack. They actually literally had a guy die there a couple years ago with. not
That's
like
good
a-
advertising. You
but
kidding me? They
Right.
probably gave away free meals that day.
Probably.
I've
And then
been.
what's the other one? Like
Probably,
Dick Steiner?
yes.
Those
We
are
are
both
so
on there.
sorry. The man
I'm
at table
surprised that's only
16.
happened once.
No. I'm saying
That
like
we know about.
recently. It happened recently, but yeah, it's happened before. Like I'm sure they love it, but yeah. So
There was a burger place in a couple towns over from where I grew up. They used to have, one of those things where, the 1 pound burger challenge. You eat it, you get your picture on the wall, that kind of stuff. And I was too young at the time to be allowed to try it. But they had one guy who had his own little special corner because he ate a 5 pound one.
nice. I conned a kid into eating 2 pounds of meat once when I worked at Carl's Jr.
I was going to say, was it your kid or was it just a kid?
Yeah. I had speaking of being old, this story is so old I had to take his picture on my flip phone. So,
Good quality picture right there.
Was
Yeah,
he
that
was he
was-
one of your puzzle pieces?
that
With
was my
40p?
second cell phone. So, but no, I gave him some bullshit story about how I would like take his picture and put it on the wall or something like that. So, but yeah, we the $6 burgers or whatever. I'm assuming they still have them, but they're like half a pound of beef. And he went for a double, and then he was like, "How many can I add?" And I was like, "According to the computer, however many you want, so you can make it a quadruple." He came up afterwards. He's like, "I don't like the taste of meat anymore. Like, it's just I'm over it." So
Yeah.
My wife and I went to what was it? Red Lobster once. They're advertising, "Oh, you can eat shrimp." We got all we could eat for our lives. We are done with shrimp for a long time. I don't know if you know this, but shrimp is actually not that tasty after a while.
No, it's
Basically,
mostly the
it's
sauce.
I don't know this.
It depends
I
on
love
what you
It's
do
shrimp.
mostly
with
butter.
it.
There's
Yeah.
mostly butter too. No, there's no way. Just
Yeah,
no
shrimp
way.
is the kind of thing where, like, if you got a tray of shrimp out in front of me, like at a party, like I will pick at it and eat that whole tray, but then I won't eat shrimp again until the next time a party rolls around, 4 months from now. So
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
kind of
it's-
like escargot, right? It's like an excuse. to
no,
eat butter
it's
and
very
garlic.
much not like escargot because one is a snail and the other I can eat.
But just the snail is just butter and garlic essentially. Like, you don't.
It's also
taste
a
the
I can
snail.
have butter and garlic on bread. I don't need the snail part. What are you talking about?
Right.
Why do we have to throw
Wait a
a slug
second.
into this equation?
Garlic bread is escargot, but with bread instead of.
Yes, it's the
Bread
superior
instead of-
garlic and butter meal.
Wow. My wife and I sometimes just say cheese carbs or sweet carbs, but I never thought about butter garlic as a kind of food. That's great.
You see what
butter
happens
and
when you-
garlic is like one of
love
the
butter garlic.
prime cornerstones of a healthy diet.
I mean,
That's fair.
sure.
It's
I mean,
it's
an
good for
enjoyable
your
diet.
guts and-
Yeah. I wouldn't
And
go
if
so
it's
far as to say healthy.
enjoyable, it's good for your mental health.
Ah.
Therefore, a healthy diet because
Hey,
it makes you
this guy's
happy.
from a country whose number one export is medical, so I'm gonna believe him.
I mean,
based off of that.
clearly take food advice from me.
Body by
Mhm.
butter and garlic.
he knows how to eat. So
Yes.
yeah.
I don't need to be taught how to eat. And I've got
I know, I
that
get
No,
it.
no, no.
As-
I found out about that
Some
when
other
I sent
people
you
who like to
cookies
eat.
for you and your kids and your wife, and
You
they
didn't say
never
that.
made it.
You said it. And you said it.
They
by
never
voice.
made it out of the
Like,
package.
They never made it home.
No, they never make it out of the room I opened the box in. It was only, to be fair, it was only one of those tins about this size.
Oh yeah, of course. It was like European size, so it was probably like 5 cookies in there.
No, it
No,
was like 400 grams or
It
500
was
grams.
the size. Who knows how much that is?
No one.
What are you
Like a
selling them on
pound?
the street? Give me a break.
Yes, I got 500 grams of that really good butter cookie,
You want a dime bag of butter cookies?
and it's like ground up too. He like smashed the cookies and put them in a dime
I'm
bag
a-
so you can store them.
It was
got
it was a
pixie sticks,
pound
too.
of butter cookies.
Yeah, but that could be one cookie in America. So
yeah,
who
really.
knows?
And I can still see the crumbs in Ben's, beard.
No. I actually, no. I was going to say I washed my beard, but I guess that's not really true. But by now it would have been gone. Pretty sure, I think.
I'm becoming concerned.
Now's the time to
Yeah.
check. 1, I don't really wash my beard. 2, there might still be crumbs in there.
Your camera's too
Last
pixelated right
Christmas.
now. I can't see if there are crumbs. I just see
Right.
a red blob, unfortunately.
That's the advantage of a potato camera. By the way, buy me a new camera.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
No,
put
we
it
have
on
to.
the
We're
list.
putting
I'll
money
try to
into
remember.
the airplane
Wait.
fund.
It's
That's
on the
what it's
list.
being yeah, but the
Yeah.
list hasn't been read by anyone.
True.
I'm really tired, guys.
We
I've
don't
been
have
doing
a
lot of stuff
designated
today.
Yeah,
list
see,
reader.
I mean, our poor podcast listeners think we're not making podcasts anymore because they don't watch on YouTube.
That's true.
Because it's all manual, and I have to do everything with my
I have
hand.
to use my thumbs.
It sucks.
It hurts.
I have been considering. I will make no promises because then you'll just hound me for it. To see if I could make a script that would, when we post a video, it will download it and then rip the audio from it, and potentially even upload it.
So what you're
to-
saying is you
Right.
promise to make this program.
No, I do not promise this.
Yeah,
I heard
the
I
upload was
promise and
probably
make
the
this
easy
program.
part. You know,
What?
And the upload's probably the easy part.
No,
but-
I think the upload might be one of the harder parts because I'm not sure that who we use as a podcast host has an API for it. I couldn't
well,
find one.
you know, then you're just going to have to learn Selenium or something. So and there's got to be libraries that rip the audio off of videos. So
Yeah, for sure. Like that's like
Uh-huh.
ripping the audio is probably going to be pretty easy. YouTube has an API to download it. I think I found when I googled. I did do some research, but the uploading I could not really find anything about on the one we use now. So it's like maybe to make it work, it would have to be either like some rip scraping, maybe. Or we would have to have a different host. I'm not sure. And then I didn't think more about it when I sat and looked at it for
Would
an
you
hour.
please think more about it and tell me the
Yeah.
options, and then
You
I
guys-
can do the director thing? Like I can't do the technical stuff, but I am becoming proficient in making decisions. I just can't do the research for them.
Oh.
you guys ever hear somebody volunteer so hard for work? Like,
I mean, Justin's probably better coding this than I am. He's
Yeah, but
smart
you
with
talked
it.
about it.
Yeah, and you promised
touched
to
it
do
last.
it.
yeah, I didn't step forward and say, "Oh, I could do that."
I said no promises. I said I had
You
just
said-
considered.
all,
I heard
it.
the
all we heard was
promises.
promises.
Yep. Yep.
This
That's
is how
it.
they.
That was the only
This
word
is
that
how
came
they.
through.
Every time we do have these meetings, they gang up on me, and then I hold
Yeah,
the
I was
shit.
going
This
to
is a
say, is
meeting
this
to
your
you?
first time talking to a project manager? Like, come on.
Yes.
She,
My God.
she's already written down a deadline, and you said no dates whatsoever.
And it's in
Like,
Notion right now, even though nobody knows how to work that thing.
right?
She'll come to me.
She's
She's
just
like,
gonna have to
okay,
send us the
so the
link to Notion later."
stakeholders wants to know where we're at with the
Right.
thing.
No, we've got 25 minutes before that question comes up. So
But the stakeholders really want to know where their butter and garlic is.
For the steak.
Sorry, I'm really
Mm,
tired, guys.
Butter and garlic steak.
That would be good.
You could eat some steak.
You sear a steak in butter and garlic. That's good right there.
It's a good choice. Good
It
decision.
is a good choice.
Gotta finish it with the butter and garlic. Like, otherwise, you burn the butter.
Well, it depends on how much, because if you've already cooked it, you're just doing it to get the sear, which is what I said. Then you're only doing it for like
No, but
a
even if
minute
you,
or two.
like if I assume you mean you've cooked it by sous videing it, just than what you're thinking. Or,
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah.
That would probably be the best way to go about doing this
But
particular.
wouldn't you still? Okay, so if you want a proper crust on it, when you've sous vide it, wouldn't you still burn the butter? So it wouldn't be better to like give it some oil, then sear it really good, and then finish it for a minute with butter and garlic?
Yes,
That's what I do.
suppose, but it depends on the taste you're going for too. So
Delicious. I'm
Yeah.
going for delicious.
The browned butter can be its own flavor.
right.
No.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with brown butter.
No,
as
brown
a
butter is fine.
feature.
Burnt butter is not fine.
Okay, well, get better at cooking.
Have you know I'm pretty good at cooking.
I'll have you know you have shown no proof of that.
Because you didn't do the cooking podcast that we ordered you to do.
Correct.
Come on.
The stakeholders
review's
want to
coming up,
know
Andreas.
when is the cooking podcast coming?
No, these are the
You even got-
STEAK holders.
Right. You've even got the name. You just said it.
Right.
Here's your
Stakeholders.
podcast name, Stakeholder. So
It's ready made. So after you make this ripping app thing that you're talking about, that you promised to do
I did not promise to do that.
years ago,
No, yeah, I just came up with it. Like I thought about it when I asked Alex about this last week.
all I know is I've been hearing
So
this
you've-
for at least 3 years.
so you've already been working on it for a week. There you go.
Oh, I have other projects I have to finish for my actual internship.
These take precedent.
Yeah, come on. Podcast is more important than anything else.
They're
Yeah,
paying
really.
you to fly out here. Is your internship
Yeah.
paying you?
You
Yeah,
owe
come
it
on.
to Taylor. That has
Yeah,
given us so
specifically.
much.
I'll have
Just to Taylor.
why do I you owe it? This is your assignment
For your
right now,
plane
not mine.
ticket.
She does. She owes Taylor, and you owe her. So you owe
Yeah.
Taylor.
So by the transitive
I don't-
property,
Why do management always get away with this? Why does this shit always
Because we're
rolls downhill, man?
management, and we have the
Right.
documentation
Yep.
to prove what we say.
if you can't be in management, you better be able to sidestep real quick.
That's why
You
you, instead, like you always got to have the receipts. So whenever someone says something verbally, you email them and says, as per our last conversation.
Meeting notes.
This man corporates.
And this one's
Yeah.
being recorded, so we have your promise down.
Right. We
This
can
one's
edit
being
that together. No problem. Small problem. We don't edit, but no problem.
We don't need to
Yeah,
edit.
Andreas,
We just
did
need to
you
say
edit
what
the
happens.
thing with Jim when you put in the 20th century fox.
Hmm?
We told you. Do you have to drop in the 20th century fox thing in the beginning from
right,
Jim last
and you
week?
didn't do it.
Come on.
You still haven't done it.
I don't remember this.
It was at the beginning of the
It's
last
on- it's
podcast.
on
You were a
recording.
part of it. You may recall.
We have evidence.
We do.
We'll go play that tape too.
Somebody pull up the footage. Bring it up.
So I actually had a question regarding the when you do the ripping and then putting it up on the podcast platforms. Are you doing anything with the sound, or are you just putting it up
No.
as it is?
I'm just pulling the audio and hopefully it's not too big because there is a size restriction and that's the biggest problem we run into. Off.
Okay, so, yeah, that's a size
It was
restriction
so
one.
easy. I didn't even bother, and you were just like, "No, I'm gonna step right in this one."
Bro. I have to. Like it
No.
was there.
No, you don't.
I
What's the
do.
difference?
I
It's
do
called
though. Do you-
willpower.
Hey, Tom Bombadil's mad at you. You shouldn't
Do I look
do the
like I
things
have
that-
willpower? After that
Depends
fifth
on-
piece of cake.
You used to, and then you reconfigured your room, and now God only knows.
Okay, fine. And what's the size limit?
160 MB. I don't remember which one that sounds
Man,
for.
that's tiny.
Not much, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should switch host.
Okay. Please tell
You mean
me
for- you mean
everything
for
that's
the
Who
director?
just
required in
volunteered
doing
to
that.
Find us a new host.
I know.
He's adding to his task manager. He's got to find us a new host. He's got to find a way to rip it to there.
You have to present me like a plan
like-
of this is what it's going to take everything off of it into the new one. This is the new one. We should you for these reasons, and that's why it's better. And just like you have to come on, you need a business plan.
Andreas, I appreciate your go-getter
I-
attitude that you've taken on all these
I
to
build
practice.
things. I take tools and I build things. Like
But you build
I don't-
things with a plan, and now you're going to make a
well,
plan
that's
for your
someone
plan.
someone else makes the plan. I just hammer.
We did make the plan. The plan is to make you make the plan.
I'm the
Now
I'm
implement
the, no, sorry, I'm the artist. I'm the artisan. You know, like I'm the talent. So
Okay, and
Therefore-
we are your patrons. Now do what we said.
no, artists are fleeting. We can't be do organization and planning.
That's
and
why
stuff.
you go
I got-
and become a starving artist.
I got a bad news for you, artists. The auditors don't care. The auditors want to see your plan. So, you
Hmm.
know.
And the auditors are in chat right now, and they are demanding that their plane money go to.
You know
good
what? Being
use.
an adult sucks.
It's so true. Like I tell people all the time, the world doesn't have to be this way. Like dogs don't deal with any of this shit. We do this to ourselves. We made the world suck. So yeah.
Yeah. So I will take a look. I will take a look at the thing, and I make no promises
This has been
beyond
such a
this.
successful
Dude.
business meeting.
I was gonna say we got more accomplished today than we do at the end of the year meetings.
I've
I
got
know, right?
15 of these a week. I did not need number 16 on Saturday because like the words are all there, the promises are all there, just the paperwork is there. Like
Oh, now he needs a new
his mic
there.
isn't there though. So
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
yes.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
We should set up the Secret Santa soon. That's what I said. So,
Oh
Nice
yeah,
pivot. Yeah.
so we have
More
some
paperwork.
time for that.
Secret Santa, seriously wonderful. One of my favorite things about being involved.
It is
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 something
it,
I
is
look
it because
forward
of
to
the
every year.
butter cookies?
It's why Ben
No.
comes.
Yeah,
like
he's
6
kinda
times
hoping
a
to
week.
get
Definitely not
you
because of the
again.
butter cookies. as
Whoever
good as
gets
those
him
were.
this year is gonna have to send him like the Milano chest.
'Cause I was-
He's gonna be very disappointed.
Ooh.
Because I was thinking like I would just always include a butter cookie to whoever I get.
That's
but,
nice.
you know,
That's
they're
very
not
kind.
good.
That'll give away who.
they're
Santa
very
was.
good. No, I'm
So
not
that
saying
way,
they're
if
not
they're
good.
disappointed with whatever else you send, it could be like, well, at least I got butter cookies.
The other thing is usually from a list of stuff they picked. I hope they don't get too disappointed of the thing they put on there.
Nobody looks at each other's lists anyway.
I
First
do
of all,
it
half the people
time.
don't even make a list.
Yeah. Do you think that when I got her mortar and pustule a couple of years ago that she just like I just was like, oh yeah, that's totally a thing that I did. Like
I assumed that was
So?
because you knew she was a pill addict, and so you were just trying to help her.
No, he accused me of being a witch.
Which
Yes,
was
clear
my
about it.
second guess, but either way.
right. It's up there with the thing you said, but
Well, if you get it for Andreas, it'll be for the medicinal stuff that his country's sending out. And if you
Mhm.
get
True.
it for
The
like I
enzymes.
just
Turds,
assume
'cause
he
she's a
has
witch.
one. Like why would I get him a second one?
Yeah, but
Who
his is
doesn't
like
have a more
his like is cauldron sized. He's got it out in the main room.
Could you imagine he's just out there with this big old like
Yes,
staff
yes, I
and stuff?
can, which is why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
This is
Now
what
I'm
he's
gonna take
doing
a
instead
minute
of
to imagine it.
implementing finding us a new host.
This
Until
is
now.
his hobby in his off time.
Until he's now been called that. Well, it's probably that's his cauldron of butter, garlic, and pills, and his giant mortar and pestle.
It puts
You
the
gotta
lotion
gotta
on
make the
skin.
medicine taste good. Like what's
Mhm.
better than butter and garlic?
Bacon. You add the bacon to it too.
I've
Yeah.
usually heard people try to use honey for that.
I was like, I guess you could say bacon helps the medicine go down. I'm not going to argue this fact, but that's not.
I was
how-
going to say, if somebody gave you bacon wrapped Vicodin, you saying no? I don't think so.
Yeah, but I'm gonna chew
Well,
bacon. and
What-
I'm gonna
but
chew
what if
Vicodin
it's like-
versus-
Bacon wrapped Vicodin, but it's honey glazed. Also, that's even better.
Sure. What is
Well,
this
yeah.
one? And some brown
Okay.
sugar sprinkled on top so that you can get the
not-
diabetes.
Not maple
Yeah.
syrup. That shit's
So
not gonna fly.
here's another
what the
thing
brown
from our
sugar's
weekly
for.
team meetings. So random drug tests are going to happen this month. So
All it's
Oh,
going
I'm
to
looking
pick up
for-
is bacon and honey, so you're fine. That's what the coating's for.
Random drug
Insulates
tests
you.
are being implemented. Oh, looks like I have to find a new job.
right.
Convenient. Well, I guess Justin just freed up time to make himself a host finder.
Nope. I'm the senior. So
No, Justin has
He's-
to get us an LLC.
yeah,
I,
true, too.
someone
That's
in
only
chat
been
just
like
brought
what,
up
5 years in the progress.
Yeah, I know.
bacon on sushi, and I've
Yeah.
actually had that.
That sounds like it would be good.
I don't
It was
know.
they had this fusion sushi that was like they had one was like beef and a béarnaise cream on top, and then the other one was like a piece of what was it, like chicken with a bacon jam.
Both
And it
of
was-
those
See, I'm
was
sound
okay
quite
with
wonderful.
that. I'm interested in that, but because it's sushi, I have to ask. The bacon's cooked, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Well,
The
there are
beef
sushis
was
that are
probably
like
the
fried,
the
and
chicken
the crab is fried, and the other stuff.
But they
is
call it
cooked in
something else, don't they?
they
So-
also had one with scallop. That
Well,
was
they
not-
just call it
that was-
specialty rolls, depending on what it is.
But yes, those are the ones that I go for, like, tempura and stuff like that. I'm down for. I can often get over, the fact that it's raw fish and that sort of thing, but just the idea of it on principle is just like food should be cooked. So
I mean, my favorite part of it when I go to a sushi place, that's the sashimi, which is like a raw piece of tuna or salmon, and then just
Right.
dipped in a little soya. It's so good.
Sure, and I mean I've
Yes,
done
I've
it.
become-
It's just like
I used to be
like
the
I
same
said,
way.
I wanted to make sure that the bacon was cooked instead of you just got like raw pork.
No,
wrapped
that
around
would be-
raw fish. Like
I used to be the same. If I ever ate sushi, it was only the fried ones or whatever. But I've grown to like sushi over the last 2 years.
mean,
in pretty much
I
all
just like them
forms.
better. They're just tastier to me. So
I like to make-
the sashimi is like definitely my favorite part. Have you tried like just like
Sure,
chipped in some
yeah.
soy? Oh, it's so good.
yeah, I wouldn't say like I'm a connoisseur because the other thing I have that's come up before, I'm sure, is like I don't like a bunch of random ass sauces. So like wasabi, I'm okay with, avocado and then some other ingredients, but depending on the sauce,
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I don't bother with the.
that's
You give me ginger and wasabi, and that immediately goes in the garbage.
I mean, honestly,
Okay.
I don't
eat
think I've.
the pickled ginger. I will eat that like candy. I love that shit. I'll buy it from the store and just eat a jar of it.
You're
You'd
actually
have to leave your
supposed.
house for that.
You're actually supposed to eat the ginger between pieces. Of
I know,
sushi.
but I always put it on or just eat it like candy. It's just like I don't give a fuck.
Or
It's
as
ginger.
the main course,
I was gonna say, her husband gets the sushi, and she just sits there eating 5 pounds of ginger.
I just, what would that even do to your body? Like, I'm concerned.
Nothing
No.
negative. It's great. It's
Yeah, she's still young enough. She's not feeling these repercussions yet.
I am a month away from
Yeah.
30, guys.
Oh
Wow.
She's gonna join the big
Hey.
trio club,
I don't want to be 30.
and that's how I felt.
If it makes you feel any better, it doesn't matter.
I don't know if
Yeah, I
it's-
mean,
Yeah.
25 was
weird.
like literally the last time you got anything cool for your birthday, and it was like a reduction in your insurance. That's it.
The
You
next
know,
one's not
30
going
is
to be till
like-
you're 50, and then you're going to really hate that you're
Eh.
having a special birthday.
40 is also kind of a big deal. So ask
For
my
men, because they
wife,
don't
'cause
expect us to
she's-
live as long.
She's about, well, yeah, there's that too, actually. But yeah, she's 2 months from 40. So not that I said
Mm.
that on the air forever.
The director,
Yeah.
she looks great for 2 months for 40.
This is
I
getting
just
a
don't-
different kind of weird, but
I just really want to eat sushi right now.
I had sushi last night because I
Oh,
was.
man.
Yeah.
Let's all go out
I
for
was-
sushi.
I was going to make a comment earlier, like, my apologies for everybody on the West Coast where it's still breakfast time. All you East Coast guys got lucky with the the after lunch discussion of food. So
You can get
Yeah.
bacon, egg, and cheese sushi, I'm sure.
what else would
You
you,
want,
put in
you
it?
want to question that it doesn't
Like,
exist?
No, I am confident it exists somewhere, but what else would you put in it if there's bacon and egg and like what on rice? Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Have you
that's
never
just
been
breakfast.
to a brunch like at a Mexican place that has rice as part of the meal? You could easily make a rice.
No,
that's-
well,
that's
that's fine.
breakfasty.
I'm talking, how does it become sushi? What else would you put in
they
it?
would probably
So
so the Japanese do something to their eggs that I think they tend to mix it with either water or soy sauce or both, and then makes it really liquidy, and then they fry it in a really flat plane, and so then they
Okay.
roll it up, and it looks kind of weird and funny. But you could basically make that as a roll,
So
put
the
rice
egg
and
would be
bacon in
the
it.
roll. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
So
just
she's
like
a quiche.
the logistics make sense actually.
It's just quiche without the like
Yeah, but
quiche. Does
better.
quiche have flour? I don't know, but
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know
I've never made
but-
quiche.
That's
I agree. Let's just stay away from gas station sushi. That's
Stay away from
Gas
gas station
station
anything
food.
unless it comes in a package.
right.
or
Yeah.
the gas dispenser.
No,
Yeah,
not even that.
I knew a
Don't
guy
go
that would
that
like
No, Ben,
swear
don't
by
do
it, and
not
I'm like,
ingest the gas.
It really bends there like,
Yeah.
oh.
It's not good for you.
you guys just are not as efficient as Ben. It's 3,000 calories a gallon, and if you
I was
drink
gonna
a
say,
gallon of that, you'll be full.
Who
the
needs
rest of your
coffee
life.
when you're downing
Yes.
the ethanol like that? It's just perfect.
Right.
I mean, this is why your gas bill or your food bill is so high, is because your gas is so expensive. And you might be able to solve this by actually just eating rice and beans.
Or gas station sushi.
I
Which
mean,
will
if you
also
eat rice
keep you
and
full the rest
beans-
of your life. So
If you sustain yourself on rice and beans, you're gonna be making your own gas.
It's true.
Too easy.
What is
Too
happening
easy.
to us?
I just
Welcome
think-
to While We Weren't Recording, your high
Right.
quality podcast.
No, this one's not the high
We-
quality one.
we were primed. I think that's why that was funny. So, but it's like the comedian. He gets you with the good jokes up front so that you laugh at the crap later. So
Hey,
I was gonna say,
I mean, literally, it's a rice and beans joke. It's literally a crap joke.
based on that comment in chat, I don't think that Fitbit is correct unless you like work construction.
It's possible.
I mean, if it's a physically really demanding.
That's what I'm saying. If you're working like construction, yeah, sure. If you're working an office job, then I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, are you on a
Even-
treadmill the whole day?
Even when I would walk the office to get my 10,000 steps, I don't think I was doing 3,000 calories. So,
How has the working from home life been treating you?
well, the commute's pretty rough, but
Yeah.
other than that, it's also great. So,
I think it's the other office people that are kind of sus.
yeah.
Oh,
Right.
it's morning stand-up time. I better get up. It's 5 minutes away.
Yeah, we had a guy come in the office this week. Had to open up the touchdown spot here in the back. But it sucks too because he came to work. He had the flu and everything. So just kind of. But yeah, I
You
had
hate
to-
it when your coworkers come in when they're sick.
right. Yeah, I had the 4-year-old this week, and it was one of those weird things that it was like, it's because he's never had it before. It's gonna just like annihilate him. Everybody else got mild indigestion for a week. So it was like we could tell, we had something, but when Amber took him into the doctor, they were like, yeah, it's just because he's never had it before. So he was vomiting everywhere. You're welcome. All over talk with that.
Like he had just eaten gas station sushi.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but he's fine now, and they went to a trampoline park, so I have the whole house.
That's the best thing to do after you've been puking up all week is to go jump around.
He's been good for 2 or 3 days, but yeah, so
Got to get the rest out, just in case there's anything.
right.
Take him to McDonald's first, then go trampoline, and
That was last night, but then it was Del Taco, which will also reinforce the beans theory, but
And the blowing the budget theory.
Yeah.
Although it's not like any fast food is really cheap these
so
days.
it's Del Taco like
Right.
Taco Bell.
No, it's
yeah,
better.
it's right. So I do have like a hierarchy of places that I, will eat, and Del Taco is pretty much right there at the bottom. Technically, I'm going below my limit because, we're one of those families that it's like it's okay to give the kids McDonald's for some reason. So we'll go to McDonald's and then that's it. But like McDonald's and Taco Bell are on my do not fly list.
I
And
was
the
gonna say
only
McDonald's
ones that
hasn't
I've been
killed you
able to-
yet. You survived all these years.
Yeah, well,
McDonald's has managed
not
to
for
keep
lack
the
of
quality at
trying.
least consistent, and
Yeah.
Taco Bell has just been degrading and is
I even remember the portion
So-
size of the Taco Bell used to be a lot bigger. Like you
Yeah.
get like
And a
two
lot
sushi.
cheaper too. They had a legitimate, like you could get a fucking burrito for like $2.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Taco
good
Bell
quality,
got
but
sworn. Taco Bell got
You can even
sworn
do it
off
for
with
$1.
the whole
There's a value menu.
with the
Don't
whole
worry.
meat sauce lawsuit.
Mm.
I was like, if we've got to defend in the courts how much meat is in our meat, I'm not eating there. Like that shouldn't be a question, which is the same
Well-
reason why I wouldn't normally go to McDonald's. I know where we're going at, but Del Taco, I feel like actually, that's not a question, or they fooled me, which is also, acceptable.
Well,
Which
then
either way
there's,
is-
then
is
there's the
good.
other half of it where like Subway had to argue in court that it didn't need to pay bread tax in Britain because according to British law, the bread they use technically counts as a cake because it has so much sugar in it.
yeah,
Sure,
I believe that.
Sure. So
That's
There's
a
your health
different thing,
food.
but yeah.
Well, is that
Like,
I know
right?
that's
And
the other half
their,
of it.
their
Well,
foot
that
longs
mean,
were never
well,
actually a foot
that's
long.
as much of a trail considering Subway's supposed to be. It sells itself as a health food.
Yeah.
Giant loaves
for a
of
year
bread.
for a year or
Health food.
two, the nearest fast food restaurant we had was a Subway, and so we would eat there like twice a day. I burned myself out on Subway, and I think I've been back like 3 times since. And it's been most of a decade, but like it's not that I hated it, I'm just like I can still taste it. That's how often we ate there. Like when they introduced breakfast, we started going there and getting the breakfast, and it's just like, but yeah.
But the way the prices are now, I would like if I'm gonna get something fast foody for that price, I just go to like Shake Shack. I know it's better. I'm not going to Burger King or McDonald's,
Right.
but I don't even bother with that shit anymore. Like I would just as soon go to the pizzeria or go to the burrito place that's across the way from work, or something normal. They were actually just having this Taco Tuesday thing where I was getting burritos for like $4 instead of $16 for a month. I was very happy,
Nice.
but it was only on Tuesday. So.
Right.
You probably live in I mean, certainly, probably all of you, but especially EG, I would imagine that you have a lot of options when it comes to food.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, in my direct home area, it's not a huge amount, but like at work, I am within 2 miles in any direction of pretty much any kind of food you could want from around the world.
Right. Utah is surprisingly diverse for that because it's, I mean, just you wouldn't think so in like the middle of nowhere, state kind of, but yeah, we can get any kinds of food, and we've definitely taken the kids out, to Indian a few times, and there's one that is more like a fusion of just like, multiple different styles of food and whatever, but Mexican of course is all over the place and whatever. Definitely need to get me some more.
Well, Epcot's got the Food and Wine Festival going on right now, so you can just get all your stops in right then.
There you go. Go to 3 places at the same time.
Yeah, I don't have a lot
got
of
like 30
options, but
huts.
the favorite's probably a local Thai place. That's just like pretty authentic.
Why? Because they have Thai people there.
They do actually. They hire the cooks in from Thailand, but it's really good. It's just like good home, like feels good homemade food, in like the best sense of the word.
Nice.
Actually, they just opened an IHOP not too far from me, and I like IHOP. I do. It's like not good for you in any respect, but but IHOP is one of those things where I just enjoy it.
That's where Dresden goes, right?
Yeah. Blood rights.
Well, the one time.
Yeah, we used to go to IHOP all the time, but finally we got out of that. There's a place here that started blowing up that we didn't even realize fully was a chain, because they just had like one practically like hole in the wall restaurant kind of on the yuppie side of town, but it's the original Pancake House, and that shit is fire, and it's way too expensive, but it's the only thing they do, and they close at like 2 p.m. Like
good breakfast places
one of those
like that
places
are not
to
be underestimated.
Right. Yeah, it's just like we can't go there enough, and unfortunately they opened one like 2 miles from the house, practically, so it's just like the wife is like, oh yeah, I stopped in there today. I'm like, but you didn't bring me anything, and you didn't bring me with you, like, come on.
I was gonna say, walk there, you get your steps in and walk
right
back. Or roll back, whatever.
Right.
I actually have see Jonathan bring this up. I have a question, because I've seen this in movies, especially that takes place in the South. What are grits?
It's hominy.
Yeah. What's hominy?
I was going to say, you're really going to have, that's not going to help him.
I'm just going on the record saying I'm with Andreas.
Porridge made of corn kernels.
There you go.
Porridge made of corn kernels. Okay.
Like, I'm familiar with grits. I just didn't know what they were made of. So
yeah.
They're not terrible.
If you grind up, imagine eating creamed corn that you cook with lard.
I have never.
I feel like you can make it sound a little more appealing.
It's porridge. It's not oatmeal, but it's a savory porridge that you can have for breakfast.
Interesting.
Or any other.
That almost makes it sound appealing.
Yeah,
they're not. It's really not. It looks unappealing because it looks like just this gray mash stuff. But it's really not. And the funny thing was, the first and only time to this point that I can remember ever actually having it was at a bed and breakfast in Iowa, of all places.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I've made refried beans, which looks disgusting, but it tastes amazing.
No, they taste disgusting too.
No, yes, it tasted really good.
My father loves refried beans. Every time we make burritos or something, he's the only one eating them, and he can have that if he wants. But
right. At some point, it lost me for the consistency, but as long as I mix it in with something, it's usually not a problem. But yeah.
My cousin she was making meat and then mixed the refried beans in, and I almost killed myself because that was what I was eating that night.
I mean, I guess you could have just hit a bodega on the way home.
No, this was in Maryland. There were no bodegas. It was either I was eating that or I was going to a restaurant by myself, which I could have done, but
choices.
I was already there.
Yeah,
but it was refried beans. In the meat.
Well, listen, there was enough meat to terrible ratio that I could stomach it.
I
and I've grown as a human somewhat. So I didn't immediately gag and throw up and throw a hissy fit. I have evolved.
Truly the pinnacle of human evolution. E.g.
You have no idea how true that statement
Really,
is.
that probably means everything coming from you, but stop helping him. He
No.
doesn't need the encouragement.
Listen, between Andreas's promises of what he's going to do today and that compliment, we're good. We can stop the
Right?
stream now.
Yeah, he's got
I
everything
was
he needs.
I
for the
was
day.
being sarcastic, and I made no promises.
That's not what the meeting notes said, man. So
That's
Yeah.
not what the tape says. either,
Documentation.
Once we get a
Comes
hold of it.
Well, we have a recording. We can see, at best, I said I would take a look, not that I would actually make anything.
All I heard
Yes, but
was
then
I'm going to
you
make it.
basically offered to think about it more, and I have now directed you to do so. This is now on your
wow.
task list.
Yeah.
It's an
That's true.
edict.
In fact, her
stop.
name is
Make
director.
the meeting
so-
stop.
I have
Maybe
been
it's
in
director.
nothing but meetings this whole week. I've been
Yeah.
100% remote for almost 6 months, and this week I had to go into the office every day, and it was almost
Oh,
10
geez.
hours a day of meetings about this new accounting system that we're doing. It's like I'm so punchy,
Yeah,
but
Andreas,
I'm now in.
that
look at
makes
me.
sense.
I'm the second command. You have to listen to me. If you don't listen to her, you're going to get canned. I'm
You're-
vice
Or
director
he will
now.
sing at you about
Oh.
his blue jackets and yellow boots.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The thing about being a vice director is it's
How-
kind of like
what's
being a
the
vice
character
president.
limit on
Nobody
this?
cares.
Okay, hang on.
Oh,
You can
man.
change it to director of the house.
There.
The super director.
That's subjective.
Jordy shareholder.
I'm the
We have an
boss.
LLC, guys.
You know what this feels? You know what this feels like? This feels like that bit in what year is it? You know, this feels like that bit in Sword in the Stone, Once and Future King, where like there's that Madam Mim back and forth, and they're trying to outdo each other. Like
I vaguely remember this.
It's
It's a
one of
good
those
book.
black and white books, you know. That
no,
Ah,
it is
no,
a
it's a
black and white
cartoon.
book. But it's
It's
a
a
color cartoon.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, she's the big bad in the Disney movie, but she's basically barely a chapter in the book. There's a book you could read. It's very political though, for like a kid's book. It's like super political.
This one?
Once a Future King. Yeah,
No,
Sword in
this
the
is
Stone.
Sword in the Stone.
Yeah, that's the first part of Once a Future King. There we go.
Always
There
got
are
one
only
character
5
limit
characters
above
on this
us.
podcast.
You didn't find the character limit yet, Justin.
I do know the character limit. It just
Okay.
it would have exceeded it to give you the answer in the thing. So
Well, Andres, you know, while you have a task for you, it might behoove you to make the microphone microphone part of the logo, make it maybe have a white outline around it. Because right
I'm
now,
not- why am I the graphics guy now too? Like
it looks like it's just a red circle with some text.
I didn't
on
make
it.
that
Orange,
shit,
you
okay?
the graphics guy right
I-
now. You made all those thumbnails for us.
Andreas, is this your first tech job? Because if you're a tech, that means you know everything about everything that plugs
Right.
into the wall.
Hey, oh wow, that's
It's
fancy.
like it's like when I have to explain to this consultant.
I'm too
guy.
old for this color.
have to
Can we change it?
I have to.
Oh, yeah, much better.
This,
I'm
yes,
too
it is-
old for
it
this
is
color.
Director
It's
Alex's
giving me
birthday.
flashbacks to the skating
It is
rink.
not.
Like,
Yeah,
I
really,
like
we got
the
we got the
purple.
Chuck
All
E.
of these
Cheese
are too
background
dark. The logo still. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't
this
look-
is the only
now.
one that will.
We got to
like,
stick with
at the-
purple.
There's only 3. So it's purple. Birthday
No, I can-
We
sparkles
did
and
not
can
get
upload
the
a
deluxe
choice.
StreamYard.
Oh,
We only have 3 options.
Oh yeah, but don't forget we should maybe
I think
switch to that better platform.
I think you
when
probably-
our
Well, get on
StreamYard
that.
runs out.
you're
I
gonna
think
trade
Chris has
probably,
volunteered himself
yeah.
for a 4th task. Thank you.
on
Tell
the
you what,
air.
if you guys are interested in having just a white background, I could
No.
probably.
I don't
put
think
that
I
up
can
in
do
MS
white.
Paint.
That's just too bright on
I'm
my face.
too
Okay, just
nerdy for a white background. Give me a
Everything on my computer-
2023. We can be
Yeah.
more diverse than a white background, guys.
Everything on my computer's dark mode. I don't want like a white background.
right.
I heard my
Actually, you
side.
should
Like,
do it now.
I got
just for
Wikipedia up
him.
over here, and it's killing my retinas right now. So, oh, thank
Better.
God.
Back to this. Back to the black.
You know what we could do
is
is you could just take. It's easy fix. Easy fix. I figured it out. I'm a genius, right?
No, you're not.
You take the logo, you invert the colors, and you're done.
Nobody wants
Right?
a red microphone.
We just get a new logo. Yeah, sounds good.
No, it'll be a green outline, but then at least have a white microphone on it.
Green? What colors are you looking at?
To answer
mean,
your
if you invert
question,
if you invert it, right?
Justin,
Green.
about
Yeah.
the tech job, me trying to explain to this consultant from the it was like trying to explain to him what the difference is between doing software development and doing IT support is.
Oh yeah,
And he's like, but it's computers.
right.
But
Isn't
like,
his
No.
job to
Don't take the
consult
job.
you, not the other way around?
Yeah. So you
Don't do
have
that
had
job.
that conversation then. Yeah.
and I have to like, I know it's not the same. There are many different areas in computers, and IT support where you have like and software development are very different. One of them involves me yelling at people a lot. The other one involves yelling at myself.
This sounds like a
That's
lot of
fair.
technical jargon.
Yeah, I've got a pair of buddies who are software devs, and one of them's actually retired now, but they're in our D&D group, and it's become a joke where it's like we'll go play on Roll20, and then it's something will break, and they're like, it must be a hardware problem, because that makes it not their problem because they're software developers. So
That sounds like DevOps issue over there. Like,
exactly.
that's more
Yeah.
Justin's
That word a lot lately.
goal, actually.
Right,
in
and
your
that's
field.
that's the other thing is like, yeah, I'm help desk, born and raised kind of, so like I've got more hands on with hardware than they do probably, but yeah, so it's like, no, it sure isn't. Kick it back to dev. So
Well, now you can just kick it over to Andreas.
right,
No, Justin is the IT guy.
I'm the IT guy. Like, I know enough about coding to be dangerous so that I can call the coders out when they're being dumb and give them ideas when they're being dumb, because that happened this week. But other than that, I usually keep it under wraps because I'm busy doing something else, whatever seniors do. So, but I've done code reviews for buddies and be like, hey, I think you should write it like this and stuff. That's fun. So, but
Oh yeah, criticizing someone else's work is like, here, I think this is fine, but you have like no emotional attachment to, no frustration to. It's so easy.
sure.
Now
sure.
you guys
Well, and they've done,
understand what
like-
my life is when it comes
Yeah.
to you.
Why didn't you just solve this problem this way in the code? Well, because I stared blindly at it for 100 hours. This is what I came up with, and I'm not remaking it now.
That's not even funny. That's truth. He's
Oh
just
my God, it's
dropping
so
truth
true.
bombs because I had a buddy who was doing something like that for school, and he wanted to do a password generator, and he's like, it's not working. And it's like, well, technically your loop is good, but you didn't actually put any constraints on it, which is why it's not doing what you wanted. So you told it to pick, 10 random characters from this list and 10 random characters for that list and give you like a 12 character password. So there's no actual like guarantee it's going to fit the constraints that you wanted. And like, that was one of the last ones that I did. And it was like, oh yeah, just change this up. So it's actually pulling from the lists 2 characters from here, 10 characters from there. Now you've got your password. But yeah, you did the same thing where you've been looking at it for like a week and couldn't see the forest for the trees anymore,
And it did exactly what he told it to do. How dare it?
Exactly. Right. But that's why I
Absolutely.
love computers, because when people get mad, it's like, look, man, unless it's a bug, which those happen fine,
Yeah.
it's going to do exactly what you told it to. And it's going to do it so much faster than you can imagine. And I add that part because I'm in alerting. And so it's like, I want to know every time the server is up, you're about to get 8,000 alerts. And it's not going to stop because you're frustrated. It's going to
Malicious
stop when it
compliance, man.
melts, because it's going to do what you told it to until it dies from it.
Mhm, mhm. This
Because-
is why
and
you
that's-
do not send out meeting invites to the entire company, and then everyone
Right.
hits reply all. That
Yes.
happened 3 or 4 years ago at my job, and it was beautiful.
Oh,
He sent a
that's-
meeting invite to across 6 states, and
Nice.
everyone was just like, "Am I involved in this? What's going on? Are you
Right.
bringing tacos?"
And then
And
you
then
get
he
to stop
canceled.
replying,
Yeah,
So-
exactly. He canceled the meeting, and he
Yeah.
sent it out again across all 6 states.
Oops.
He just had an issue that day, and everyone got to see. It was beautiful.
Ah, that's funny. There was a university where they basically like were blowing up their exchange, I think, because they sent like a to all email, and then
Oh,
they had
no.
like 20,000 kids replying to it, and all this other
And the
stuff.
server was
that.
like, I'm only 4 cores. Don't do this to me.
Right. Yeah.
And those kids probably knew exactly what they're doing. Of just like, I'm gonna
Some of them
just
did,
poke it
yeah.
a little bit more.
Yeah,
Hello.
some of them did for sure.
That generation you talked about, Justin, reminds me of a story of a team that was making a URL shortener, and then they had to the project leader had to demo it to the stakeholder, and then he called them up afterwards, and they was like, "Haha, very funny, the joke you pulled on me," and they were all like, "What joke?" And the URL shortener had generated "fuck me,"
Nice.
and they were like, they went through the code and see if it was a debug or something, because sometimes you put in
Right.
shit like that in your debug,
Right.
and then it's like, no, it just actually generated
Right.
"fuck me." So
Yeah.
they're like, well, it's we can't reproduce it. Do
You've
we
been
make
given a
it-
gift here. Accept
do
it.
Right.
do we put in banned words that it should not be able to generate, so it doesn't randomly generate the swear words?
Right.
Hmm.
And again, luckily in this day and age, there's libraries for that. But yeah, it echoes a conversation I had with my boss. Basically, like my second IT job, we were making usernames based off of first and last names.
Oh,
You got to take the first 3 letters of the first name, the first 3 letters of the last name, and smash them together. I'm working at
Sex pal.
that's there. I'm trying to remember. There was a famous one where it was like during training they would tell you this guy's username because they were like, no, they're permanent. They cannot be undone. Don't do shit like that, right? I forget what it was, but it was very inappropriate at least. But in my case anyway, I'm working for an investment bank with a bunch of famous, New York bankers and that sort of thing. The username came out as Goyam, not specifically the same
Oh my
spelling, but if you say it phonetically, it's Goyam.
Which is ironic because he
And-
was Jewish.
Well, she wasn't. She was Asian, I think. But, so I went to my boss and I'm like, I'm not going to put in this username. And he's like, why? What's the problem? And I'm like,
Try
Like-
saying it out loud.
right. Like, you don't know what Goyam is. And it's like, it's not highly offensive, but maybe we should try and like get an exception for this username. We can use 4 characters here and 2 there or something. But it's like, nah, just put it through or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, but yeah, that there are
You covered your ass.
the consequences.
You got his approval. It's like, so when
Yeah,
somebody
did you-
comes back at it.
Yeah.
Did you
yeah,
remember
sure.
to send the email as per our last conversation?
I'm sure it was documented in our ticketing because help desk. So all of that shit goes in the ticket. Be like, I spoke with my manager who said, do it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but you gotta get the manager to reply, and so he acknowledges
sure.
that he said this.
Not that one, because that one, our favorite joke for him was that we could actually replace him with a script that would return 1 of 5 entries. It was something like, send me an email, come on. And I forget what some of his other catchphrases were, but in response to this, he said, "Oh, come on." We're like, there it is. We've got our scripts. Like, so yeah. Sorry, I couldn't make that story 2 minutes longer for you guys.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's okay. Listen, we went like how many minutes over last time? We can bank a few.
Oh,
Is
there we
no,
go.
he has no any jokes.
Yes.
I'm not
No.
funny.
Not
Clearly, I'm
intentionally.
not funny because Justin made that clear.
Oh, hey, we
earlier.
need to decide what book we're reading next.
No, we don't.
Wait, we're doing
Not on the
Somebody
air, we
usually
don't.
has to decide.
Nobody
As
needs
a-
to see that kind of violence on their Saturday. So
Nobody needs to be part of that kind of violence on their Saturday.
yeah. Now I was gonna say earlier with the whole like the New York style pizza, I'm gonna put that as like a modular component for one of my favorite bar jokes, which is, this really hot blonde wears a red dress. She goes into a bar and she asks the bartender for a double entendre, and he gave it to her.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's clean or
Feels
dirty
bad.
depending on your audience. So
Mhm.
depending on the entendre.
Yeah.
We don't have that sophisticated an audience,
So-
so I'm not worried.
now our audience, like, you'll be able to tell, right? Because out in the wild you'll be like, so the like this super hot blonde wearing a red dress went into the bartender and she asked for a New York style pizza and he gave it to her. You'll know it's one of our fans. all 8 of you.
She asked
So-
for bacon, egg, and cheese, and he gave it to her.
right, exactly. I was like, see how much more fun this joke gets? Is like, I love the wordplay, but this is also fun. So,
Like
She
if
asked
we
for a-
had the brain power for a merch store and made T-shirts and just like put this incomprehensible shit on a T-shirt, people wearing it out in the wild. It's
I'd like a
people
bacon,
do
egg, and
this.
cheese bagel or whatever. Like and cheese.
Right.
Yeah.
Should we have a merch store? Since we're doing all the business talk.
Well, I mean, Andreas has
YouTubers
time to
do
do
it.
this, so he can set it up.
No, that's
There you go.
that's a director thing, surely, or
Uh,
VP of
no,
marketing,
no,
Tom
no.
Bombadil.
See,
Yeah.
I am
He's got to talk
management.
to the vendor.
I just talk things. I don't do
Yeah.
work. I just talk about work. I
you
make
got to
you
find
do
our
the
vendor.
work.
for the
Your
t-shirts and-
your middle management thing. Yeah, okay. I see how it is.
I'll tell you one
I-
thing that I'm being serious about. Maybe that should be a thing you put out through X now, because that's stupid to say. And Reddit. and a
I
few
will
other
not
places
call
would
it
just
X.
be like,
It is Twitter.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm so old. I remember when it was Twitter, which was like a year ago, but still. But yeah,
I-
like if people would legit buy it, if there's any kind of interest, we can come put that on a T-shirt.
Stupid shit on a
Stupid
T-shirt.
shit on a
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's actually a good T-shirt.
I do actually like that.
We could put stupid shit on a T-shirt. The T-shirt.
We put the
You're
outline of
welcome.
Andreas's face, and it says, "I make no promises."
Right.
You can't afford
Like,
to use my likeness.
You would be so famous to be like, who is this guy? He's so famous. You'd be like all those meme kids that.
No, you're going to be like the NBA logo. It's like, and nobody remembers that it's Jerry West. It's just going to be the outline of your face, not your actual face.
Everybody knows it's Alfred.
Can I do like the duck face? Like,
Kind, but
No, you may not.
was that not a trend when you guys were young? Was just here, like all the like?
Not
You
when I was
guys,
young.
like you're 20. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
I'm so old.
Everyone except
I'm older than
Alex
Duckface.
is
so.
is like in my bracket. I think Justin's like a few years older, right? Like, isn't everybody like
Duckface was her
early
bracket
30s?
for sure. Director, should you show us all of your Duckface pictures?
I was going to say, Duckface was
See,
not only
I was too
her
poor to have a
generation, but it was her
camera,
gender.
And I was
It
too
wasn't the
out of
rest
touch to
us.
understand what the hell it was about.
I see.
Yeah, I was
I'm
an
also out
isolated
of touch, or as
outcast.
they
who-
say again, old to know what it's about. So
What do you mean was? That hasn't changed.
It was very popular on the Danish MySpace.
Oh, what a shock.
We had like a thing that was like MySpace, but in Denmark.
MySpace and Google.
That's
My
German, I'm
Lederhosen.
pretty sure. MySpace in my Lederhosen?
My Skia. Is that it? Is that better?
In Danish, it
My-
would be mit rum.
That sounds
mid
French.
romp,
Mit rum.
Yeah,
that
mid-
sounds German.
right?
You know, the Swedes, they always say us in Denmark, we speak like we have a potato stuck in our throat. 'Cause
I
we're very guttural.
I
in,
believe that too.
yeah.
I think that's a good
Når vi
place to
snakker
end.
dansk, så snakker vi sådan her, det lyder meget guttural, hvor svensken, they prater more like this, you know, they